afternoon, evening, whatever you want, whatever it is. We're kind of midway through. This is Goal Getters. Hi, I'm your host, John Ristino, along with my other host, John Fidel. How's it going, John?
Good, John. Another Friday night.
Yeah, Friday of fun. I see you survived the flood of 21.
Yep.
You did all right, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have to swim. Or
No.
nothing, right?
Nothing like that.
So that's good.
Got lucky there.
And our guys are here. Our people are here. Of course, Robin's back there. Hi, Robin.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Very good. Looking forward to the Olympics starting.
Yeah, that's starting today. Yes,
Tonight,
last
yeah.
night, actually.
Yeah.
Right. And then Wade, of course, is here, our producer. And what's happening, Wade?
Not much. I'm excited to hear what happened with the Kraken yesterday. So I'm
Yeah, we-
excited for another goal getter.
Yeah, we got to get to that. I know we talked on a different show, but you did not survive. Well, you did, actually. You did good work on the flood of 21 because you went in the basement and made sure you didn't get the water.
Right, the water was
bailing
coming
out.
in, but I was speeding back and forth from trying to dump all the water into the
Right.
cup, and it was an hour of back-breaking work, and then
Good workout.
yeah,
Yeah.
actually my back is hurting today, so probably from the water. But saved the house. So
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
That's
now
the main thing.
the big thing is now, if you're out there watching, you don't know where we are. We're in Western New York, and we've been having rain crazy. Like Wade, where he lives in Lockport, had 5.5 inches. Where we live in Niagara Falls, 5.5 inches in like an hour. Where we live in Niagara Falls, New York, we had probably about 3.5. So either way, there's a lot to get to, though, so I better stop talking about that stuff. Let's go to the NBA Finals. We followed it, obviously. A champion has been crowned, and it's the Milwaukee Bucks
Yeah.
are the champions. They won in 6, defeating the Phoenix Suns. Before we get into it, I'll give you some stats. Game 6 was the Bucks winning 105-98 in Milwaukee, clinching for the first time in 50 years a championship. The Bucks were led by Middleton with 17 points. Portis had 16 points, and Giannis was unbelievable. 50 points, 14 rebounds. The Phoenix Suns were led by Paul with 26, the same guys you would think. Booker with 19. Crowder had a good day, 15 points and 13 rebounds. Devin Booker becomes the first player in NBA Finals history to score 40 points in back-to-back NBA Final games and lose both. So there's your record there. The Milwaukee Bucks are your NBA champions. And John, you watched it?
Sure did.
What'd you think, man?
It was a good, exciting finals, and I thought it was going to go 7 the way they're, but it didn't work out that way.
Right.
And my hats off to the Milwaukee Bucks for being the NBA champs.
Right. Robin, what did you think of the series? Because we've been talking about it. We all predicted last week. I was the only one who got it right, but it's all right. No, whatever. It doesn't matter. Go ahead. What did you think,
I
Robin?
mean, it was a great series, and I feel like Game 6 came down to Giannis's free throw shooting. I think we were talking about that as we were watching the game. What did he shoot? 17 of 19 or
Yes.
something like
Yes.
that, and
And they win the game,
and
right?
yeah,
By less than.
they win by less than that margin.
They won by 7.
Yeah,
And
So-
normally Giannis would. That's a good point. Normally Giannis would probably be 9 of 19. So that was huge.
right.
That
Yeah,
won the series. That won
it really did.
Kind of, so to speak.
You know, because I think Phoenix started to do what they intended to do, which was get the ball to someone other than Devin Booker, because obviously Booker's getting double teamed. So I think they did a better job of spreading the ball around and could have won Game 6, but when Giannis is 17 of 19 from the
Yeah.
free throw line, it's just not meant to be.
Yeah. Wade, I know you were doing predicting, watching along with us. What do you think of what
I
happened?
don't know why I didn't stick with my original.
I know,
opinions, you know what I mean.
Yes, you
Never
did.
a good
Oh,
time
you're
to-
right. Before the finals, that's what you.
Yeah,
You said.
before this last week, I was saying, oh yeah, Milwaukee comes back, and especially after they lose, they come back and they really kick ass, and Giannis looked unbelievable. So I should have stuck with what I was originally thinking, but yeah, good series, great series. Excited to see what happens next year, where players go, and it's good for Milwaukee. Good thing from a small little city that normally doesn't get really too much recognition.
Right? Yeah, no, I got to tell you, Giannis really carried the load. I mean, he pulled. He was it. He did what a champion does. You know, he took over. Speaking of some things that Wade just said, November, we were all talking earlier, Thursday, July 29th is the NBA draft.
Yep.
August 2nd at 6 p.m. starts NBA free agency. Here's a little bit of free agents out there that have of interest. John Collins is a restricted free agent from Atlanta. Kyle Lowry, as you remember him, DeMar DeRozan, they're all available. Kawhi Leonard is available, player option, but he's not going anywhere. I think he might be done for the year anyways.
Yeah,
with the
he's
injury,
done.
right? Yeah, he's injured, right? Lonzo Ball, restricted, New Orleans. You got some other guys here. Tim Hardaway Jr., liked him as a Knick.
Yep.
Played good with Dallas,
Yeah.
but, we kind of knew he'd be good. Chris Paul, player option, $44 million. He's going to win, and he's not coming to a bad team. So
And Milwaukee's going to be even better. Going to start getting more players over there. So
yeah, they're going to come. That's all you need. If they're good, they'll come anywhere. I don't care if you're playing in Buffalo, wherever you're playing.
Yeah.
It's
good for small market teams. So.
right.
What do you think is going to happen with Chris Paul? Do you think he stays in Phoenix and gives it another shot there, or do you think he leaves and goes to someone who's better positioned if he thinks they are better positioned to win?
John, what do you think?
I think he's probably going to stay there. That's my feeling on it. I think he likes it there. So you get used to that warm weather. You don't really want to go somewhere. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Going to a cold weather team, I know they play indoors, but still, being out there in the spotlight, a lot of guys like it.
Yeah.
So I think he's staying there.
Wade, what do you think on that question?
Is LeBron coming back another year?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
So that's where he's going.
Yeah.
He's going to the Lakers. Lakers are going to pay him money, and that's what I believe that's what he's going to do, because it's just another dominant team trying to chase a champion.
Yes, and another player just chasing. Right, another player's just chasing a title. Now, I don't know. It's a good question, Robin, of course. But, there's so many teams like the Lakers. He could end up in why not? Maybe he'll go to the Nets. And I will have a whole, it'd just be unbelievable scene with them. I mean, he's played with them before, some of those guys. He's played with everybody. I don't know. But where else could he go? The Knicks, you would figure, but he's not going to the Knicks. He's 30-some-odd, almost 40. Why go there? You're not looking to rebuild.
We know the reason there.
Yeah.
No, nobody wants to go there.
Yeah, and maybe the Celtics. I mean, there's a team that's kind of close. Yeah. But I think the Lakers, in my mind, his best friend was in the crowd, Game 6, LeBron, sitting courtside. LeBron was there to see Chris Paul hopefully pull it out and win. LeBron is coming to the end of his career. Why not? Why not get one for Chris Paul?
Too many chefs, they spoil the broth, don't they?
They do.
Seen in,
Ask the
Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Maybe CP3 comes there. You don't know.
To Brooklyn? Oh my God!
Yeah.
Think about that's what he's just saying. That's what Wade's just saying. Durant, Harden. You know what though? Kyrie and CP3 wouldn't work. I can't see it. Like he's about the thing he said. Too many. Wade just said too many cooks. Spoil the soup, because it was kind of a problem I felt between Booker and Paul, where Paul would not distribute enough. I think to Booker. Paul sometimes just got in, sometimes just heaving shots up. But yeah, go ahead.
Paul's a different kind of player. I think he's a more selfish player than, for instance, a player like a Booker.
Well, Booker better be selfish, though, right? Because he's a scorer. He needs to have the ball when the game's on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If he does not have the ball when the game's on the line, it's you got to wonder why not. And I think they got some issues there in Phoenix a little bit. I saw benching him that one half was foolish. You almost could fire your coach for that, because that lot, I feel they were up by 16 when they benched Booker in that game.
Yes.
Before you knew it, Milwaukee was up by 2. Mm-hmm. And And here's what I don't understand. It's similar to when we were watching the Yankees guys last
Oh,
night
yeah.
with the pitching, and you're watching the gas can blow up. And instead of doing anything, you don't do anything. So like you just sit there and let it happen. As far as the coach for the Suns, he watched that game. Why don't you do something to stop that crazy momentum? Like hurry up and get Booker back in the game.
Right.
But no, you let him sit and you let him rot there, which is outrageous. Guy scoring 40 every game for you. But anyhow, I look forward to next year. I mean, free agency, the draft, by the way, real fast, because then we got to get to hockey because there's so much happening. Cade Cunningham is without a doubt, no doubt, he's the consensus number 1 overall. Played for Oklahoma State. He's a guard. Couple guys in the draft I don't remember, maybe because I haven't paid attention as closely to NBA drafts as I should. I see 2 G League guys that are like 19 years old. So G League, they're playing against men. But that must mean they're just high school kids. So they're in the top 10. You got a couple of those. Actually, Jalen Green is considered the second overall, projected. And then there's another one. Where the hell is he at? And at number 5, John Kaminga. The only other thing is there's only one center in this top 10, Evan Mobley, USC. So that is our NBA. And real quick also, I guess I should mention the order. Detroit has got the first pick overall, followed by followed by Houston, Cleveland 3, Toronto 4. That's our NBA coverage for the year.
Yep.
Can't wait for it to come back.
Yep. And then all the seasons are coming back fast too.
Yeah, big quick turnaround, and it was a good playoff for the NBA. Really good. It was very interesting. Almost brought me back to the older 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah.
It was
early,
physical.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, nice and physical. Let him play a little.
Like the Michael Jordan days.
Yes, absolutely. It was a really good final. So let's head over to hockey now. When we last saw everyone, we were talking about expansion. The Seattle Kraken, of course, they had their expansion draft, and John, let's go with the Sabres, who they lost in that draft. It's Will Borgen.
Yes.
What'd you think of him, defenseman?
I liked him. I mean, he was up and down the past couple of years. I thought they could have kept him, but they wanted to part ways, so...
They must have come off easy, though, because didn't they, remember that other guy, Asplund?
Yeah.
I think they're probably happy that he wasn't involved.
Yeah, they like him a lot.
I know they were trying, they were
so-
fishing, right? They were trying to get him to take Colin Miller or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Skinner.
Or Skinner, but Skinner's not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Not with that contract.
Someone would have to. The only thing you can hope is that there's a team out there that is so that they got to get to that basement, and they say, "Oh, screw it, I'll just take him. That brings me up above, and I'm good."
Team like the Minnesota Wild or somebody like that because they got money.
Yeah, but you just got to make sure the cap has to be there because you don't want Skinner. I don't know why you want him in a way that he's not. What would you say? For $9 million a year, he needs to be counted on, but you kind of want him like whatever happens type thing. So that is the Sabres. Will Borgen. So I think they got off pretty good through that. I jotted down, John, some players that were just because there were some players that really not of note. But one of note that I thought went was Adam Larson, the defenseman from the Edmonton Oilers.
Yes.
And Larson, it's a good,
Good player.
good player. Another
steady
Swede defenseman, right?
Mm-hmm.
According to my notes, from what I saw, that they're talking he could be a number 2 on a team.
Mm-hmm.
Top pairing type deal. Be a number 2. After him, we have Vita Vanacek, goaltender for the Capitals. He was.
Yeah.
Not bad. What a good hockey player.
Real good
goalie.
Yeah, really good.
He's
Good size, or
probably like 26, 27.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of time in the American League.
so he's got another probably 7-8 years left in him, maybe.
Right. Back up to who we're going to talk about here shortly because they really did a great job with that. Robin?
The other goaltender that they got from Florida isn't bad either.
Yeah, right. We're going to bring up a video
Okay.
montage of him here shortly when we get. I'm sorry, I should. You know what I got to start doing here? I like to host this stuff. Obviously, I got to start letting my my cast know my order of business.
Sure.
Right.
I apologize. No, that's not your fault. It's mine. No, you didn't. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But whatever. We'll show him shortly. Thank you, though. But you're right. I mean, I think they have a good goaltending tandem
I
here.
do. Yeah, I do too.
Next, though, on our list that I didn't tell everybody what I was doing is Jordan Eberle from the Islanders.
Mm-hmm.
We like him.
Yeah.
Good player. I mean,
I take him on my team anytime. So.
right? Yeah. I mean, you're talking probably second line, maybe even first line, right winger, 50-point guy. He never lived up to what they thought in Edmonton, but that wasn't. He was a 22nd pick overall, so he wasn't that high of a pick. But Eberle never really lived up to. But Eberle's good.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good, solid player. Number 5 on my list is Jared McCann. The Maple Leafs made a trade to get McCann from Pittsburgh because their whole thinking was they can only take one of either McCann or Kerfoot. So it was kind of a smart move by the Leafs. Well, McCann goes. What do you think of McCann? It's pretty good.
He's another steady guy that could be around for a while.
Played second
4 or
line
5
center
years,
last year to Sidney Crosby. He's versatile, and but he scores a little more than Kerfoot. So I think they gave up a little on there, and probably a little. And what's really sad for the Maple Leafs, I think they even gave up a little bit on hitting. I think he's a little more physical.
I've noticed over the years, Pittsburgh and Toronto made a lot of trades. It seems like.
Yeah, they sure did. Right, capping in the whole deal. They sure have. It's weird how that has happened.
There must be former people over in Pittsburgh or Toronto, something like
Well, yeah,
that.
because it all started, because Kessel goes there, and then you got there's a lot of guys that ended up going down the line there. And then there is Mason Appleton, forward from Winnipeg. I saw him a lot watching the North Division, and I like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually a really good scorer, and he's tough. He plays all. He can kill penalties. He does all that on the power play. I like Nate. I like Appleton. What'd you think of him when you got to see him?
I was hoping he'd go to Buffalo in
Right.
a way, so they could use all the help, but he's going to help Toronto out.
Yeah, no, Appleton, and the Kraken are gonna. Robin, what do you think of Mason Appleton? I know you've seen. We saw him a lot in the North Division.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's somebody that you're looking at that could be, a future captain of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Build around a guy like that. I think he was a really good pick.
Yeah, because he scored some goals, and watching him as we did within the North Division, he's more offensively talented than I think meets the eye.
He's going to be around a while. He's going to be around a while.
Sure will. Yeah, he will be a steady for the Kraken.
Yeah.
So now we go back into some of the other players, some of the bigger name players. Yanni Gourde. Yanni Gourde goes from the Tampa Bay Lightning, champion Lightnings, 2-time champion Yanni Gourde. Played on that line with Coleman and, what's his name, Robin? Do you remember? Who's the second line, the other center? But anyways, he just...
Tyler Johnson?
No, it wasn't him. That's okay, don't worry about it. Yanni Gourde... is a Kraken.
Yeah.
He could have been like a number 1 pick. Like if this was, he's the best player, I think.
I'm
of
sure.
the group.
I'm sure he's going to be the captain there.
He might be play center or wing, and you see the goals he scored. That was a shorthanded goal he scored there. He had a lot of goal in junior. He was a goal scorer. The guy's a goal scorer too, but he plays 4th line minutes.
Yeah.
So he's now going to. Here's what happens though with these guys, which will be interesting. When you got 4th liners like this, it's interesting when they add on 10 more minutes to their ice time. So now he might have to play 20, 25. So it'll be curious to see how he handles it. But I thought the Kraken made a nice
Did he happen to
selection.
check their schedule out? Their first 13 games are on the road.
The Kraken?
Yes.
Is that probably because the
Well,
building?
Yeah, the building's not ready yet, so.
I think their first home game is against Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great rivalry, right? That's perfect.
That
they're
came
right
out.
there.
That came out yesterday.
Wow, that's right. Yeah,
So.
they had a nice. I saw the arena. I always like when they show me how they build them.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, because it was the Supersonics place, but now they
Yeah.
adjusted it to.
Wonder if they get basketball back in Seattle now.
You think they should?
Yeah.
They probably might. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, that's Yanni Gourde, and it's Barclay Goodrow was the other one. Goodrow. He was the other guy, and we got a story about him coming up. So okay, then they do something really good. I think and you touched on it a little bit, Robin, is the goalie from Florida. His name is hard to kind of say because it's kind of weird. Dreger? Dredger, yeah. And there he is making a hell of a save. I mean, this is a great save he makes against the Dallas Stars. And they needed this. This is their number one goalie. He's young. You could have him for 10 years. You have him with Vita Vanacek.
Yeah.
Now you're, obviously you're hoping. I mean, we got to see how Chris Dreger plays, for the whole maybe 60 games or something. But it's much better than going and getting Carey Price, I think.
Yeah, you got a younger version.
Yeah. Why would you want? Because Carey Price, I think you'd have a miserable Carey Price because he doesn't want to go to an expansion team.
He's on his way out too,
Yeah.
so why? I don't know.
He's got to win. That's what he wants to do.
They made a good move there.
I thought so too. Yes, Dreger was a really good move, and they got a nice thing now with Vita Vanacek and Dreger. Vanacek can play 30 games. Dreger can play 60 some, whatever it is, or 55, whatever. So that is Chris Dreger. Tough name. Is it Dredger? Dredger? There's always a D for no reason.
Drigay or something.
Right? There's just no reason for that. And then the older guy who's been a Norris Trophy finalist, maybe winner, Mark Giordano. That was one of the fewer, I think maybe the only one, older guy that they went with, And what do you think of Giordano? You must have always liked him.
Oh, yeah. Always good, steady, hard-nosed player.
Yeah, and chips in. You see there,
he ain't afraid to chip in either.
He's a good passer of the puck. He's been a on the power play all the time, and
they're going to be probably a playoff team before some teams have been around. So
Wade,
that's how it usually goes.
If you watched last week, I think Monticello called this.
Yeah, you're right. He did. He called a lot of this stuff. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think he might even have called the Borgen deal with the Sabres.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He pretty much called a lot of what went on. I'm looking at his Twitter right now just to make sure, because if anything happens while we're on the air, I can say it. Yeah, he definitely did. Giordano, though, he'll be their number one guy. He can play 30 minutes, 35. It just keep on.
Yeah.
Robin?
I think it was smart too, with all the young talent there, to have a guy like that, in the room, somebody that could be their captain right off the bat and kind of lead the younger guys. I think he was the perfect fit for them.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Now what we're going to do here shortly, I think we're going to take a break because we got to obviously pay the bills and do all that stuff. But when we return from the break, we are going to talk about the NHL rumors. There has been trades made. The Buffalo Sabres have made a kind of a big trade today. There's some signings that happened, and all of that. So, and a couple other trades too. We'll be back in a moment after the commercial break, and we're going to talk more NHL. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, are you stuck in your business? Are you facing a lot of struggles and obstacles to take your business to the next level online? Do you want to empower your business, scale it, and level it up? We are here for you. If you are just starting up, small business or big business, whatever, we will help you to level it up. Go fast and far away from your competitors to a limit that will impress them. They will see you as king of the niche. Get more traffic, more leads, more audience. Go viral equals more ideal customers and more sales. Unlock the top secrets of sales and secrets of online success. As you see, we are living in a digital transformational in all fields. New updates, creative ideas, and new advanced strategies. Do it with us right now and save your time and money. Pass all the obstacles and struggles that face you or will face. Let's rock your target. If you don't act right now, believe me, your competitors will catch our rocket to reach a higher than you and faster than your business. Time equals money. Procrastination equals more regrets.
All right, we're back. Thank you for that to our sponsors and everything else there. John and folks here, there was a pretty major trade that happened here before we went on air, and it has to do with your Sabres as
Sure.
the Flyers, Robert Hägg, and they are giving this to Buffalo. Robert Hägg, who's a 26-year-old defenseman, 6'2". He was drafted in 2013 by the Flyers in the second round. Hägg, when he finally came up in 2017, I believe what I read is he led the league in hits with 256. He led all rookies with blocked shots. So the Sabres get him, defenseman. First round pick tonight, so they'll have another the 13th overall.
Yeah.
And they got a second, I think, in 2023. Good thing for the Sabres. Philadelphia is going to take the entire salary from Ristolainen, who went from the Buffalo Sabres to the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's get your reaction. I know you're a Sabres fan and all that. What do you think, John?
I'm happy about it. I mean, I was chatting with a few fans earlier. They're not happy with it, but if Risto doesn't want to be in Buffalo, I don't want him here. It seems like he wanted out in a big way. He wasn't like the way he was being treated, and we had to move him out.
Yeah.
For Owen Power, he's going to be here too. Hopefully,
Right.
down the road. So, I like it. I mean, we're getting younger and hopefully quicker and better on the puck too.
Yeah. I mean, Hägg looks like a guy who's going to be a mini Ristolainen.
Hmm?
I mean, he's not as tall. He's 6'2", but he hits and he does the physical stuff.
Yes.
So it's kind of like they made a good deal because I feel like Hägg is the dollar store version of Ristolainen. Maybe better.
Two-way player.
Yeah. But he just can hit. He can hit. And that's what Ristolainen, he gave that element of toughness. And Hägg is going to bring that, I think, by the sounds of it. And if you lead the league as a rookie, it's in hits.
Yeah.
And he got hurt in 2018 though, so that derailed him. So he didn't have really a sophomore season.
You got to give it a chance. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and Ristolainen's got to get out of town because he wants to play in the playoffs someday. How long is he going to wait? He's been here almost 7 years.
Yeah,
by
he's
now.
like 26, 27, and you can't wait any longer.
No.
He's got it.
He hasn't even had a playoff game under it. He hasn't even played in a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't believe. Yeah, no, he couldn't have. So that is that trade there is. I think for me, I think the Sabres and good old Kim Pagula and Kevin Adams need to be given a round of applause.
Yeah.
I don't know why the fans are mad.
No,
I don't know what they expected they were going to get for
I'm one
Ristolainen.
fan. It's not. I mean, you didn't win with them,
Right,
so
and you're getting a somewhat version of him.
yeah.
So when you're getting that version of the same guy in Ristolainen, I think you can't beat it. So I think the Sabres made a nice deal, nice trade, and so there'll be more to come because now, as we're talking about Sabres, we might as well speak about Eichel, who is obviously the biggest fish that there is out there.
Who knows? Who knows if he's gone tonight? I've been hearing small things about him.
Yeah.
He might be traded.
Well, he's definitely going to get tonight. You mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard tonight it could happen.
We figure. I read Elliot Friedman, and he just put out a list of teams that are back interested again: the Rangers, the Wild, the Anaheim Ducks, LA, and if they trade him to this team, they should quit playing hockey. The Montreal Canadiens. If
Yeah.
Eichel goes to the
Yes.
Canadiens, just stop. Then you're morons, even more than I thought. You know what I mean?
I even heard Chicago too.
Well, Chicago's fine, but you don't want him in your division.
No, you want him out.
Play him 9 times, how many times a year, so he can beat you and embarrass you and shame you,
I'd like to
and
see
you'll
him
show shame.
send him out to L.A. where you
Yeah.
won't see him.
But John, you think about this. You'll be sitting there, Sabres fan as you are. Here comes Eichel with the hat trick. Here comes Eichel. Now you're going to have to show shame. You'll be disgusted. I'm disgusted for you.
Yeah.
But then I'll be disgusted because he'll do it to the Maple Leafs too. So you got to get him out of town.
Yeah.
Do everyone a favor. You know what I mean?
He'll score.
Kim Pagula,
He'll
please.
be a first star every time he comes back.
Yeah, we don't, and you only want to see him once, right, a year. So put him out west, because if you keep him east,
L.A., Anaheim, somewhere
that's
out
fine.
there.
Go to Seattle. I heard this rumor. I heard a rumor. Seattle was going to trade. This was from a guy from. This was from a legitimate person who's in the know stuff. Seattle, their first round pick this year, which is number 2 overall. Next year's first round pick, Vita Vanacek, the goalie, and then another second rounder for Eichel. So you're talking. I don't think this Kraken team is not the Golden Knights. They don't look. I don't think. I'm gonna say right now, I think it's an 82 game schedule.
82.
They'll be lucky to win 30 games. I think this year, that team. I think they're really bad. Wade?
If that's the deal, Sabres better jump on it.
Right.
You said what did you say? A first round?
This year's first round, and that would be the Sabres already have the first pick overall, so they'll have the second. They would have the first, the second, and the 13th in this draft because they just got the first round pick from Philly. So, and then you'd get, this is the one I really like, the 2022 first round pick,
Yeah.
which pretty much I would get. I don't think the Kraken are good. So, and then they get Vita Vanacek, who's a goalie that they got in the expansion draft.
I know this isn't the best year for NHL drafts.
No.
However, wow, talk about building.
Yeah.
That's 3 first-round draft picks this year, another first-round draft pick next year. I mean, that's the future for the Sabres right there. I would be jumping on that trade all day.
Right, Robin.
Yeah, I think if you can get that kind of value for a hurt Jack Eichel, you got to take it. Nobody with back surgery. It seems like most surgeries they can give you a pretty high percentage that you're going to come back and be the same. Back surgery is always a mystery, and I think for if the Sabres
It's neck for him.
right, but the spine surgery, I guess
all
I
connected,
should
right.
say, whether it's back or neck. You just never know how somebody's going to bounce back from that. So I think if they can get that kind of value, they'd be crazy to, crazy not to get
Get
it.
rid of the headache. He's another one that doesn't want to be here. So
But I don't blame him though. Why don't you want? You got to play in the playoffs sometime in your life, or your
Yeah.
career is shot. I mean, you can't be here for 7 years and never skate on postseason ice.
Why would you want to
one
be
game.
here if
Yeah,
you're
right.
getting a soccer coach as your coach? You
I know,
what
that was
I mean?
bad.
That was
That was-
terrible.
that
Why
was-
would you want
that-
to be in Buffalo?
Don't get me
That-
started on that one.
That it was, and our guy's here, Brian. Hey, Brian, how
Hey,
you doing?
Brian.
Brian, please jump in whenever you feel.
Thank you.
Anytime. But that whole thing is right. I mean, that was the biggest miscalculation of Kim Pagula, was hiring that guy. Right? He was supposed to be the communicator.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
supposed to be the, and he was neither. He was nothing.
You just sat back and let everybody else do it.
Right. Yeah. So that was. But now I'm going to tell you, I think that trade with Ristolainen was a good start for them as far as building back, because you got a mini Ristolainen in return.
Adam said he wants people that wants to be here, and that's what he's doing right now. He's
Well,
getting rid of guys that don't want to be here. So.
right. Yeah. And you got to. And I think you got Reinhardt. There's another one who's going to be traded today or soon. Maybe it doesn't have to happen
I'm sure
today.
it's
It
him
can
and
happen
another
whenever.
guy named Jake McCabe too.
Like him. I like McCabe.
I think he's gone.
Oh, wow, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. Why? That's one I don't get. Well, why is he gone?
Well, you know how the Sabres are, how they operate. They,
Yeah. Well, that was like McNabb. Remember the guy that remember McNabb?
Yep.
He was awfully good.
He's still good.
He's still good. No, yeah. I get they're confusing.
That-
I
That's
don't
why
know.
they are where they're at. That's,
Well, Larry Brooks of the New York Post had something just out here that I found on Twitter where he said the asking price for Eichel is just too high right now. So that's fine. No, if you're a Sabres fan, it should be. It should be super high. It's just like when you go in looking for a loan or whatever. I'll start high and see what happens,
Yeah.
and maybe we get in the middle. I mean,
yeah, like a bidding war there.
yeah.
So
So you ask high and you get whatever, get in the middle. There's got to be a level though where they're going to say no to the Sabres.
yeah.
But when Larry Brooks said that, because he's connected with the Rangers, so he
Heck,
knows
don't-
from the
heck,
Rangers'
He
perspective.
don't even know if he's going to even be able to play this year. So
Now you're right, and I did hear though.
it is August almost.
Well, I did hear from on the radio, and then I read it from Darren Dreger, Mike Agello also. He has been training, and he's feeling good. And he's skating, and he's feeling well. And so he needs to be traded too. Like it's not just the Sabres that need this trade. Eichel needs this trade because he can't play another year here and know that he's not going to make the playoffs
Yeah.
again. So they're rebuilding every 2 years. So this is another rebuild. And Eichel needs to go. And it helps both ways. The Sabres get out from under a
Yeah.
contract, whatever. Eichel gets to finally be somewhere where maybe he can play a playoff game. You know?
He's caused a lot of that problems here though too. Certain players didn't want to play with him.
Yeah. Well,
Ryan O'Reilly was one.
Oh, Ryan O'Reilly. Yeah, but don't you? Let me bring Ryan. I'm glad you brought him up, Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly, though, I think I kind of don't know what to say because he goes to St. Louis, and we all knew Ryan O'Reilly originally was with the Avalanche, I think,
Yes.
and then he comes here. I thought he played well here.
Yeah, he he loved it here. He was close to his family
Yeah.
in Ontario,
So
and he wanted to be here, but him and Eichel didn't get along.
You're right about that. I know. I do remember that being said a lot, and from actual people in the know types. Not people in the locker room that know that stuff. Well, he even retired, Ryan O'Reilly. He
Yeah.
quit hockey, just like Robin Leonard, pretty much.
Yeah, he said Buffalo made me quit hockey.
Yeah, he did.
One of his statements.
Yeah, I love it. Yes. Well, that's all right. I mean, but why you quit hockey is because you want to be. Those guys all want to be in the playoffs. And when you aren't there and you can't see a light at the end of the tunnel, it's like, I got to go. I'm going to be 30 years old before I know it. And but don't forget now, we don't, Reinhardt. Reinhardt's good. I think Reinhardt has been ruined here. He's been
Yes.
hurt here. He has hurt his everything about him. When he looks back at it, Reinhardt is going to say, I lost a lot of money playing in Buffalo because when he comes out,
Yeah, he comes out.
when he was first in the league, I'm not saying he's a number one line center, but he was definitely 1B type. And I think when he goes somewhere else here, you will really see
Yeah.
what he can do.
Another 40-goal scorer somewhere else.
He could be.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I know Calgary's interested in him. I know that.
That's a perfect spot for him. That could be a Johnny Gaudreau who comes back. I would think in something like that, because the Sabres can't just dump everything. They do have to have money in, you
Yes.
know. So that is the Sabres aspect of all this. I think we've covered. Reinhart, Ristolainen traded to the Flyers. The Flyers giving up a mini Ristolainen who likes to hit people and block shots, which is great. Sabres, every team needs that. They get a first rounder tonight, so when the Sabres draft tonight, they not only will have number 1, they'll have number 13. They get a second round in 2023. Philadelphia, and I thought this was great, the Sabres didn't have to retain any of Ristolainen's money. So you got to like that, because it just frees you up. So let's move on to some other players and other things that are going on. Let me tell you about a few trades that happened, though, that I didn't realize happened, actually. Well, I did yesterday, but, I mean, here, let me give you those. I got them written down here somewhere, because some of them were... one of them is actually something I've never seen before. It was the Arizona, who's well below the cap, Arizona Coyotes got Shane Gostisbehere, another one tough name,
Yeah,
and
sure is.
a 20. Listen to this. They got him. They got a 2022 second rounder and a 2022 seventh rounder, and the Flyers get nothing. All they wanted was cap relief, so they get 4.5 in cap relief. I'm thinking this. You guys all remember COVID killed this game. The salary cap's 80. Some teams built for it going up and up like it normally does.
Flyers are up to something.
Well, yeah. Well, they had to clear it. You know what they're up to? They can't afford the team that's around them. They were going to be over the cap. That's why you trade and get nothing.
Yeah.
You know. So I think the Flyers are. You know where I think what the Flyers might be up to is Seth Jones.
Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me in the least. But who knows? But that was one of the trades. The second one is one where I thought the Sabres might have missed out on some other teams. This one here is a great trade for the Detroit Red Wings. Alex Nedeljkovic.
Wow, that's
Nedeljkovic. What the Nedeljkovic. I can't friggin' say it.
And you did good.
Robin, say it. Nedeljkovic.
Kind of like,
Yes.
kind of like Ukko Pekka-Luukkonen.
Yeah, that bad. Yeah, right. Well, anyways, he played for the Hurricane last year. He was 15-5-3, 1.90 goals against average, 9.42 save percentage. Now, once again, this is all because the Hurricane are having cap issues. They give him away. Hurricanes get the rights to UFA Jonathan Bernier. No one wants those rights. That was just anything, because it has to be something.
Yep.
They do get a third-round pick tonight, or tomorrow, whenever the hell the second
Probably tomorrow.
right? That starts only first round tonight. So the Hurricane get that, and this goalie has the. I think that was a good one. He looks,
Yes.
you know what? He's the size and looks a lot like Vasilevsky.
Yes.
You know, has that look about him. The Red Wings. Now the Red Wings is Steve Yzerman's back there, isn't he? Yeah, that guy's good.
Yeah,
he knows how to build a team.
Wherever he goes, he makes a winner.
Yeah, Tampa's still winning because
Yeah.
of him. And there he is. What a deal that is. That's the kind when you see it. They asked him a question, which was great, and his answer was, I can't remember the question, but I know the answer. Yzerman said, I think they asked him if he was surprised that Carolina gave the goalie away. And he said, you'd have to ask them. You know,
And you got to remember who he played under, Scotty Bowman.
Scotty Bowman, who's still, you know what? Old
He's still
Scotty,
around.
and he's still going to the rinks.
Yeah.
He knows the play. The Sabres could have brought him back to be a president of this team.
Yeah.
Just to oversee
He was in
what's
town
happening.
during last year. And,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there must be some kind of thing where he doesn't get along with somebody here. Who knows? So,
Well, he did. It's been a long time ago. They
Yeah.
didn't get along with him. They've got rid of him.
Yeah.
With the Knoxes, probably Seymour Knox or somebody. You know what I mean? I don't even know.
he traded away a lot of fan favorites
Sure
back
did.
then.
Yeah. Here's another good thing that I didn't know happened. Tampa Bay traded the right. Here's another team that is in COVID-19 salary cap hell. Tampa Bay, this is a big part of their team that won the Stanley Cup. Tampa Bay had to trade the rights to Barclay Goodrow to the New York Rangers for a 7th-round pick. Well, the Rangers immediately signed him to a 6-year deal. It's a great move by the Rangers.
Sure is.
To do that. And the Rangers you'd think they'd be in cap hell, but they haven't. They've been kind of doing that little tanking thing, not really, kind of, sort of. But they have come. They got Lafreniere. They got a few other young guys that are going to make the Rangers. They're going to be good because they're going to now. They have money also to see if they can grab, or maybe they Seth Jones type deal or something happens, or maybe Eichel goes to the Rangers. You know, he's the biggest ticket out there right now. But Barclay Goodrow from that great fourth line is gone. We just talked about Yanni Gourde gone to the Kraken, and now Blake Coleman, who's going to be gone. So now think about it though. Tampa was how many because of the way the NHL does things and how it's kind of messed up with the long-term IR, they were almost $7 million over the cap in the playoffs, and so now they got to get under, because we no longer are in the playoffs.
Are they going to still have that COVID roster like this past year where they have extra players? Or?
That's a good question. They have not mentioned that, but one thing that's a real good question. The one thing that I know they're going to have to do is change this long-term disability thing, the long-term IR, because if, for example, now the Canadians, if Shea Weber isn't going to play all year, they pay him $7 million a year. It goes off the books. He's on long-term IR. And if he comes back in the playoffs, it doesn't count towards your cap. So you've been able to go buy or get players at the deadline to help you for your push. Well, that's what Tampa did with Blake Coleman and others, and they were over because now Kucherov comes back miraculously, and you got him almost for free.
Can players still opt out? I'm just saying for every sport.
For COVID?
Yes. Is that still going on, or?
I doubt it. It doesn't. Well, we'll get to that story about the NFL. It's certainly not there. They're not talking any opt-outs. They're pretty much telling you you're going to forfeit your money and get the hell out of here.
Okay.
But I don't know about the NHL.
Sure on that one, yeah.
The NHL will be weird because of Canada's interest. You know.
I mean, he can't even get over across the border right now.
Yeah.
So
the Canadian thing will be the big deal here because hockey being so global, they don't only march to the United States tune. They got a lot of other things that are on their plate. Go ahead, Wade.
I'm curious about your Maple Leafs. You guys seem like you have a big salary over there. And when the COVID is dropping dramatically, this really changes the NHL when you think about it because you strategize towards your salary cap.
Yep.
And Toronto's going to have to do something like we were talking about the other day.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they got $40 million tied up in 4 players, which wouldn't have happened, I know, if they knew COVID was coming. They couldn't have done it. Zach Hyman's going to be a casualty. He was on their top line with Matthews and Marner, and he's one of those guys. He's the puck magnet, go into the corner, hit people, but still score 25, 20 goals. So Zach Hyman right now was offered an 8-year deal by the Maple Leafs, probably only though at about $4.4 million, which his raise was huge because I think he was making just over $2 million last year. And now I lost my train of thought. Anyways, Hyman offered him an 8-year deal. Leafs don't. I don't think it's good enough. Edmonton is there. The Edmonton Oilers are there. If you can get if the Oilers make a trade with the Leafs today, and the Leafs trade their rights to Zach Hyman to Edmonton, Edmonton then can offer an 8-year deal. Like, that's what's weird about it. That's the only thing. Like, if it's your player, you can offer an 8-year deal. If you want to offer that deal, you have to give compensation to the team, the Leafs, and that would be Zach Hyman. Any word on Hyman? Have you heard anything?
No, not in the past 2 hours or so. I had a lot of radio stations on this afternoon, so
just Edmonton pretty much is all I hear. The Leafs want him back, but Edmonton's going to offer him $6.6 million a year, probably, or 6.5. So they say goodbye to Zach Hyman. The Leafs, otherwise, They said goodbye to Frederick Anderson, I'm sure, because he was a $5 million goalie. He's no longer there. At least he's unprotected, so he'll be out there. So that's one way they're trying. They have to get under
Yeah.
the cap.
A lot of moves will be made.
Who else? I mean, you're talking. Morgan Riley has been rumored to be traded. I can't believe that would happen, but who knows?
Yeah.
When you got to get under the cap, you can't trade Tavares because he's got a no movement clause, anyways. Obviously, you're not going to trade Matthews, Marner, or maybe Nylander though. He's the one that sadly gets left out in that top four a lot of times, and he was their best playoff performer
Yes.
this year. So
He'll end up somewhere, and
he'd be a good. He's going to be good.
yeah, he's. I like him.
So you have. Let's go through just a couple more rumors out here in hockey. You got the Blackhawks are pushing for Seth Jones. This all coming from Micah Jello and Elliot Friedman's Twitter page feed. But the Blackhawks, I think the Columbus Blue Jackets are asking for too much. It's like Alex DeBrincat and Kirby Doc. You're not going to get both of them. Ryan Suter's a name you guys all remember, defenseman.
Yes.
Well, Boston, Colorado, Dallas, Florida, and the Islanders are all involved in talking about him, talking to him. Braden Holtby, the Canucks would really like to move him. If the Maple Leafs were smart, maybe bring him over to work with Jack Campbell. Maybe goes to Buffalo.
Hey,
That would be a perfect to try to solidify goaltending.
Sure, why not?
Let's go real fast through a few others. You got Johnny Gaudreau. We talked about him. Vladimir Tarasenko.
I like him.
This guy, 50 goal scorer. He's out there. Another one, Kuznetsov. Evgeny Kuznetsov from Capitals.
Yeah,
Another one out there. Alex Ovechkin is a UFA, but he's not.
they're talking. He's going back overseas.
He might be done. Yeah, go back to this. Let's go to Russia. Josh Manson, defenseman. We've always talked about him. He's a tough defenseman. Johnny Gaudreau, we talked on. Connor Garland, forward from Arizona, and a goalie who's pretty good from Arizona too, Darcy Kemper, and of course Jack Eichel leads that, and Seth Jones. We have a draft tonight, John. An NHL draft. What are your thoughts? Sabres. I think Powers is 6'6", big guy. Could you imagine if he turned out to be Victor Hedman? That'd be a good thing. So what do you got there on your draft board?
I got him. I got Brant Clark from Barrie, Ontario. Luke Hughes.
Right.
There's quite a few.
A lot of Michigan guys. Isn't that funny? There's like 3 or 4 in the top 10.
They're like the Alabama of hockey.
Out of nowhere, yeah. Well, there's another kid. Let me see your list for a second. I might have forgot. I think I forgot his name. What do we got down here?
Kent Johnson.
Beaners. Him.
Beaners.
Matthew Beaners is good.
Yeah.
He's another, and that's Michigan. Michigan could go 1-2 tonight.
They did a
in the draft.
profile on him on the NHL Network today. So
Yeah, he could go 1-2, and that'll be something. 2 Michigan guys going. I mean, and how far has hockey in America come? And I'm not even sure if they're Americans. I shouldn't even have said that. I don't even think they are. Actually, I take that back because they may not even be American. I think Power's not. He just went to the University of Michigan. Beaners, I think, might be. But when you look at top 10s, you're seeing as many Americans as Canadians and Swedes and everything else.
Never
and
like
Russians.
that years ago. Maybe
No.
10 Americans at the most in the whole league.
There's a goalie out there, too, whose name is Waldstadt, from a Swede goalie, who I think's going tonight in the first round. And I like him. I thought he was going to go in the top 10. I'm curious if maybe he does. Goalies don't usually go that high, though, as we know. I think the last real high one was Jonathan Quick, maybe, or something. I think we talked about that once. So that's tonight. What time, John? 7?
7, sir.
7 o'clock tonight. ESPN. If you're in Canada, you Sportsnet, TSN will have that all covered. The radio will have it.
Radio, Westwood One.
Yeah.
It's always a good outlet there.
So you'll have your covered. 7 o'clock start for the NHL draft. You know what we need to talk about, which is something that has just popped up out of nowhere, is NFL COVID. We've got a little clip here we're going to play so you can hear what's going on.
This is CBS Sports HQ. The NFL informing teams on this Thursday things will be strict when it comes to COVID and game cancellations this upcoming season. As in, if a game can't be rescheduled, get ready to forfeit, pay the price. You're going to lose. Last season, if there was an outbreak on a team and a game couldn't be played, the NFL pretty much bent over backward to reschedule that game. If you remember, there were weeks when we had games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Well, that will not be the case this season. Here's part of the memo that went out to teams. Quote, if a club cannot play due to a COVID spike in vaccinated individuals, we will attempt to minimize the competitive and economic burden on both participating teams. Every club is obligated under the Constitution and bylaws to have its team ready to play at the scheduled time and place. A failure to do so is deemed conduct detrimental. There is no right to postpone a game.
Well, there you have it, the NFL. Obviously there's been some kind of spike in COVID-related illnesses and stuff like that around the country, around the world again. People that have been double vaccinated are getting sick again. People that have had it once, vaccinated, are getting it again. I don't know anything. I don't even care about I like what I'm saying is I don't even want to get into the science or politics of it all. It's just that the NFL is saying, get your people vaccinated, do something, or we're not going to be, if you don't, fine, but if there's an outbreak, no longer are you allowed to say, because think about it, last year the NFL jumped through hoops, playing games on Tuesdays, playing games on Wednesdays, Fridays, and whenever they could fit it in, they're not going to do it anymore.
Nope.
I don't know what to say. I mean, it's funny. I mean, now we got DeAndre Hopkins talking that he doesn't want to play. Leonard Fournette, Cole Beasley, Matt Judon. You know what? Good. Make your choice, man. Opt out. Go home. Whatever you want to do, you're gonna leave the money on the table. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. If it's that important to you, opt out.
It's your choice.
Yeah. Go ahead and move on. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't care if DeAndre Hopkins plays. I don't care if Cole Beasley. I don't care if any of them play. Honestly.
Next man up.
And
we'll step in.
Just do what you got to do, if you don't want to play. Funny, though, former quarterback Derek Anderson had a funny quote to me because he's been retired for a while, and he played for the Browns and then I think like Carolina. And he's talking about, if I was there, I'd retire immediately. Yeah, I don't know about that.
No.
It's easy to say. You're not walking away from huge money to play a game there.
He is basically a backup.
Yeah, remember the Browns tried.
Yeah.
They tried hard with him, but I think Tommy Maddox might have took his job or someone crazy at one point, or I might even say the wrong name. But one of those, was it him?
Yeah, it was him.
The XFL.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. So what do you guys think back there? Let's start over here with Wade, Brian, if you got anything to say. I know we all love football, and we love it. So what do you think of what was... I'm happy... Here, let me say something. I'm happy, though, that we might not see cancellations type of thing, and maybe, hopefully not. Or they might have to... If someone's sick, maybe we have to just make sure that we can field the team.
Right. Why not
Type of
just,
deal.
Exactly. If you're able to field the team, then there should be no... Maybe upping the players amount of how many players you can have on your team. Look at how many people the NFL have to cut.
Right. Yes.
Then Beasley and all these other players, Hopkins wouldn't.
Did they do that through the practice squad? I thought they upped the practice squad amount.
They did.
Yes.
Last season. Yep.
And I thought that's going through this year as well.
Yeah, I was unaware of that. That's
They need that. Yes. Yeah, and it's because you gotta and I don't care who the player is. If Josh Allen, well, then he's not playing. It's gonna be Trubisky today. If it's not Trubisky, then it's gonna be whoever the third string guy is. You're gonna have to make sure. I guess that's the deal. If you can't do, because either way, so far, I mean, I watched a Yankees player, Gleyber Torres, had COVID, got double vaccinated, got COVID again. If there's different variants and all that going on here, I guess we just can't figure it out. So you just got to go by who's sick. If they're sick, then they got to do the quarantine, do what you got to do. And you might miss them for 2 weeks. There's nothing you can do.
The Constitution shouldn't trump the
Right.
American
Right.
Constitution.
And it looks like it isn't, because they're telling them pretty much, okay, if you don't want to, like any business, you don't want to play by my rules, well, go home. Type of deal. I mean... So I'm good with that. I agree with you, because when I first heard this story, I'm like, are they really going to throw people out if they refuse the vaccine? You see what I mean? Like, are they going to say it right out? If they're smart, it's just their choice. But it is the NFL's. But you see, now I'm confused because I think the NFL doesn't have a right to tell anyone to be vaccinated or not. But the NFL, as a business, is pretty much letting you not be, just telling the teams you better be prepared.
If you don't get vaccinated, you have to follow these certain set of procedures
Yes.
to try to mitigate any contamination and spread to other people. So if you don't, you can't disagree that there's some sort of outbreak, pandemic. Say what you want. COVID is a real thing. So there's two ways to mitigate that. Either you get yourself vaccinated, or you do all that social distancing junk, and you have to choose one or the other. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Is my only real feeling about it.
Well, the NFL, and the NFL is going to have to. And Robin, I'll get you in this in a second. And the NFL is doing, I think, in some ways, the right thing. Look, you just got to be prepared because. Like it happened in the Yankees game where there's 6 or 7 Yankees got sick and they just canceled the game and make it up another time. Really, no. I think you have to bring players up from wherever you bring them up for them and play the game.
When you're talking about how many people have caught it after their vaccination, it states, like, why the fuck get the vaccination? Because if you're catching it afterwards, there's numerous people catching it afterwards. So that doesn't do anything for you. Isolate yourself. If you are sick, if you
Right.
have a temperature, you stay home. You don't go play a football game.
That's what I'm thinking. And you stay out, and you might miss 2 weeks of football. You might miss 2 weeks of the season.
miss 4.
You might miss 4. You miss whatever. I mean, you almost have to. I think the NFL might want to just take it as an injury. It's on the injury report. Here it is. And then obviously there's going to be testing. It isn't as though they're not going to. They're not. They have to. They'll keep the testing going, and because you're going to have to. Because once you find out a guy has it on your team, you got to test everyone. And now we got to go through that process. So, and that process happens even if you're vaccinated and you happen to get sick. They got to go. They did that process for the Yankees. So, Robin, I want to jump in here. What do you think?
Yeah, I was going to point out the Yankee game as well. I think MLB handled that really well. They had to miss that one game just in order to contact trace after the super spreader at the All-Star game.
Right, that's where
and
it came
Judge
from,
being,
allegedly. Yeah.
Being a part of that, and then a couple Red Sox players. So I think in order for the well-being of everybody, they did the best thing in canceling that first game. But then they said, now you're going to play with whoever you
and the Yankees have been.
And
yes.
the Yankees have been, and it's actually been to their advantage,
But
other than last night. I mean, it gave them a spark that they didn't have before.
Well, yeah, the Yankees were forced to do something that they normally don't do. Bring
Right.
up a young kid and let them play and sit. Yeah,
And I think that's the way to handle it. I think, you can't force the vaccine upon anyone, but you can say, if you come down with this is what's going to happen. You're going to follow the CDC protocols for however long you need to be out to make sure that everyone else is safe.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And I don't cancel any games. And I don't do anything. And I'll forfeit you. I don't even mind that. You forfeit. It's almost like any league I've ever played in.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't.
Rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah, and you just don't say they jumped through everything last year. It must have been a nightmare when they had to play games on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
And Friday and all those crazy days.
Kind of like college football in a way.
Yeah, it was. It was like it then. But so you got. Oh, by the way, real quick, I just want to say this because I don't want to. And this is totally off football, but real fast. The Cleveland Indians are now the Cleveland Guardians. That's a fun name.
I don't like it.
When did that happen?
Just now.
Just
Today.
today.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They were going to be the Cleveland Spiders, but that didn't work out so well. And then the Guardians are there, and I don't know what to think of the Guardians. So
name better than the Spiders.
yeah, I don't like the Spiders.
Well, yeah,
Could you
the
imagine?
This is stupid.
Well, look at the Richmond Spiders. If you ever look at them, their logo is a spider, but it's not a nice spider. It's not a happy spider. It's one of the ones that's coming to kill you, like Black Widow, which it would have to be because you wouldn't want a happy spider. Or
Right, you don't want the Halloween spider.
but you don't want it to be.
Charlotte.
Yeah, you're right. You don't want
Right.
if you're trying to be a team of any sort, you can't be. You got to be a mean spider.
Right.
Tarantulas. Tarantulas would be a good name.
Sure, be the tarantulas. Be the they could have been. I'm trying to think of.
Well, what the fuck is a kraken?
Kraken is
It's an
big
octopus.
Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I
yes.
seen the logo,
Mm.
so I should have
It's a
assumed
mythological
that, but
character.
It's a mythological
It's actually kind of cool. I thought
You're gonna throw it
because
on the ice when you get a hat trick or something. I guess.
they won't be allowed to.
Whatever
Yeah.
happened to the Red Wings doing?
They are not allowed no more.
No.
People felt bad for the
Oh, for the
the octopus. Yeah.
Peter just went nuts. Huh?
Yes. They did not like it, and it was put an end to. So I know, John. What's going on here? You get me nervous. What's happening?
Well-
You're looking at me like we robbed a bank.
Oh no.
All right, what are we gonna do here? Smoke? I'm Wait, what the fuck? What's going on? You're the pretty. What's that? No, I'm just
I-
joking. I don't know what's happening. Robin, I'm getting nervous. All right, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm just joking.
No, don't get nervous.
No, you got me nervous. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say, 'cause I don't know what the hell's going
No,
on.
I got one more thing for the weekend.
I'm not done. The show's not over.
No, I
yet.
know.
Okay.
Well, it's away from sports.
Unless you're ending it.
No,
All right,
no.
go ahead. No, go ahead. I mean, you could pull the plug. I mean, no, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
No, we got a music festival this weekend. It's for Kenny Jam from 2 to 9 at the LaSalle Water Park. On the water, 68th and Buffalo Avenue, and all proceeds go to the SBA Animal Shelter. It's in honor of Ken Wozniak, who was murdered last year, sentenced with death. And it's from, like I said, 2 to 8. And it's going to be all kinds of heavy metal music, classic rock, you name it. There's going to be like 4 or 5 bands there.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's free, and all, like I said, donations go to that fund.
You'll remember this horrible crime. This is the man who was lured to Packard Court by his own daughter, and they robbed his house, and then they came out and killed him. So it's a terrible. It was a terrible. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And
He was a drug addict.
it was horrible, and it's sad. So yeah, if anyone's out there in our area, you want to go to that. That's
Yes.
yeah, it'd be a good thing.
We'll remind you on Citizens United.
Well, I think it's
Well,
this
Sunday.
Saturday. Yeah,
Sunday. This is
Sunday.
Sunday.
This Sunday. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm glad that you brought it up. Actually, John's brother sent us messages and about reminding this.
Yes.
So I'm glad. No, we gotta. That's a tough one. Geez, I forgot. Remember we covered that on Citizens, that whole story, and it was. It's just terrible, but that's what the city because I know some of you out there aren't from our area, but in the city of Niagara Falls, we just had that happen, and it was a tough thing because especially the way it went down. But all right, on that note, let's think about one last thing. In football, if you're the Cardinals right now, and DeAndre Hopkins is talking like that, and it'd be devastating for them not to have him. Obviously, I mean that's just it changes everything if Hopkins not in that lineup.
They don't beat the Bills.
They don't, right? Because the guy doesn't jump up and catch it. I'm sure Kyler Murray would be sick to lose Hopkins, just as Deshaun Watson was. How do you tell me, Wade? Like as a team, as an owner, I mean, it's got to be. This is a messed up situation
Yes.
with this right now.
I
It's
don't know if you guys remember what the Cardinals did this offseason. Their wide receivers are stacked.
who else? They had?
They picked up AJ Green. They picked up Larry Fitz, I believe, is re-signing again, and also the rookie from Florida State, not Rondell Moore.
Pitts? No, they
No.
no.
No, he's a tight end.
Bates?
I don't remember who they
I don't remember.
Bates
Okay.
is from Minnesota, I think.
Well, they picked up a rookie receiver.
Mhm.
I believe in the second round. They're stacked. They have good receiving core. They have a good offense without Hopkins. Just obviously puts it overboard, but they're still a great team without him.
You think?
I do.
I don't think they'll win anything. Right?
No?
No, I don't. Well, what they want to win. I'm not saying they can't make the playoffs,
Yeah,
I just
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore.
Is that the
Rondell
Minnesota
Rondell
guy?
Moore. He's from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
He's real
Yes.
good.
They picked
He
up,
killed Ohio State.
Right.
Yes.
Big guy.
They have
Well,
a deep
yeah.
receiving core.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I mean, that's what was the problem in Houston. All they had was him. You know. Oh, Purdue.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you, and I take that back. Who's the guy from Minnesota I can't stand? I know you
It-
brought it up. Don't worry about it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You'll remember.
Yeah.
You got all your paperwork. But no, you're right. You know what? Wait, I'm going to change my mind. After hearing all that, I think you might be right because they have so much more than Houston. Okay.
That's the guy.
Minnesota.
Shot Bateman.
Bateman, yes. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Robin. But I'm changing my mind. I think you're right. There's probably enough. There's enough there. There's enough there. What do you think? There's enough. Brown, AJ Brown, that whole thing. I mean,
That defense is really stacked too.
They're gonna be-
Arizona
they're gonna be a solid team.
is
Yeah.
going to lose in the NFC Championship to Washington because I'm still sticking with Washington.
Can you imagine if this happens? First off, what we're going to do is I'm going to get the number on what they are, 1,000 to 1, whatever they are, and you got to put something on it. Like I can do that for
Yes,
you.
I want. to,
Okay.
yeah.
You just got to give me the dollar amount.
Okay.
And we will do it for you. Because I know exactly where to go. I know exactly who to go to, and
Yes, he does.
we'll and we'll have it done because there's big money. Holy cow! You put $100 on that?
Well, the Redskins got that defense that was great last year. You thought it was great last year. This year they got Jamin Perkins.
I love Chase Young. I'm a
exactly.
a huge fan.
It was great last year. It's even better this year.
Well, you've got. I knew somebody who did that with the Eagles that year, and he had the Eagles to win the NFC Championship, which was a big long, and then to win the Super Bowl, and the year with Foles and everything. And boy, he made out big. It was a guy I worked with at the factory at the time.
That's a call right there.
Yeah, and he
That's-
just went with
yeah,
all
that's-
of it.
And that's a call.
Well, this Redskins one's even bigger.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable because that would mean you'd be doing something with Fitzpatrick that he's never done, and he'd have to maintain a full season. Like you're going to need him to play every game.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to play all 17. No walls, but you're right though. If the defense could be the Ravens defense of the past, and Trent Dilfer wins or whatever, or Rex Grossman with the Bears that time.
Still ain't used to the 17-game schedule yet.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, I know.
Fortunately, remember that because
Yeah,
the AFC,
please.
well, that AFC championship, I was pissed because.
Oh, I wanted the Patriots so bad.
yeah.
Because the way the Patriots beat the Bears that year in the regular season, and it kind of mirrored 1985 all over again.
Yep.
Minus, that was different. The Bears didn't lose to the Patriots, but it just had that feeling. And I was dying for them to play the Patriots. I'm probably glad they didn't, but they end up losing to the Colts. But that game, how do you start out a game with a Devin Hester return for a touchdown? And then, of course, the only could happen, it poured rain. That's the only Super Bowl I remember with rain or any weather of that sort.
Usually domed up.
Yeah, and it poured rain down in Florida.
They usually look out on the Super Bowl for weather.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Years.
This was the only one. It was a mud pit.
Yeah.
And whatever. Rex Grossman was a bum, but what are you going to do? Anyhow, well, I guess it is time to wrap it up. I don't want to go because we start talking. We got Brian here, one of our partners here at Gorillas Inc. We could. I could sit here and do this all day because everyone's got. It's a great show. Thanks, guys. We got. What do we got coming up? We got the draft tonight, like we said, 7 o'clock. There's a Yankees game. There's Olympics. There's all kinds of stuff happening, right?
NBA draft.
NBA draft's
coming up soon.
Coming up soon, yeah. So anyhow, well, for goal getters, we'll see you again.